Welcome to Dawn of a Story. This is more than a podcast. It's a place where we speak the truth, tell the stories that shape us, and honor the moments that made us who we are. I created the space because I believe storytelling is how we connect, how we heal, and how we remember who we are. Some stories are still being written. Some are full of laughter. Some have changed everything, but all of them matter. Whether it's my story or one of my guests, my hope is that you hear something that resonates, that reminds you that you are not alone and encourages you to tell your story too. So settle in because every story starts somewhere, and this one starts now. Thank you for tuning in and welcome to Dawn of a Story. I'm your host, Dawn Pascal. I'm so very grateful you decided to spend your time with me and my guest this week, James Haddad. Every show, we will be exploring a new theme, and this week's theme is the moment that changed everything. There are moments in life that divide everything into before and after, moments that crack something open inside of us and force us to see ourselves differently. My guest today knows that experience intimately. His story is about grit, reinvention, and the quiet courage it takes to walk away from one identity and step fully into another. This is a conversation about discipline, craft, and the moment that changed everything. So let me tell you a little about my guest. James is a U.S. Air Force veteran, lifelong craftsman, and dedicated student of personal reinvention. After serving as an F-15 electro-environmental technician, he returned home to work as a fabricator in his family's shop, mastering precision, discipline, and hands-on creativity. Today, he brings that same craftsmanship and intensity to Bivio Pizza Napoletana in Montclair, where he has become known for his commitment to the art of true Neapolitan pizza. A competitive softball athlete for more than a decade, James lives by the belief that growth happens daily through discipline, humility, and a willingness to start again. His journey is one of grit, integrity, and the courage to follow a new path, even when it leads somewhere unexpected. So without further ado, let's get started. Hey, James, how are you?
Hey, I'm great. How you doing,
I'm
Dawn?
good. My brother from another mother. That's what I've always said.
Seriously. Definitely.
I'm so excited you're here. So
Me too.
we've talked about, and you've talked about the moment that everything shifted for you, the before and after. Can you take us back
Uh-huh.
to that? And what did that spark in you?
So it's like the end of 2019. A bunch of things happened kind of rapidly. I went through a divorce. Me and my father split up from our business, and I had nothing. I had nowhere to like. I was starting over in a place to live. I had no job. I had no savings. I had nothing. So I started delivering for
Mm-hmm.
Amazon, and then all of a sudden, about a month later, my car breaks down.
Right.
So I'm down in Edgewater. Can't start my car, can't do nothing. And I don't ask people for help ever. It's not really my thing. So I'm walking all the way across town to go find parts to try to fix my own car in a parking lot. Walk back, doesn't do nothing. I'm sitting there with my hands in my lap, not knowing what to do, thinking. And then all of a sudden I'm like, you know what? Let me go check out this vegan spot because I was heavily vegan at the
Mm-hmm.
time. And so let me go check it out. It's in Cliffside Park. So I walk up there, walk in the door, and obviously I meet you. Your product was
Thank you.
fantastic. You know, it's everything I was looking for. You were gluten free and
Right.
vegan. So I mean, it's something you don't find everywhere. And then we just started having a conversation, you and me. And that's when you kind of dropped on me, hey, I'm looking for a delivery guy. So obviously I told you what I was
Mm-hmm.
doing at the time. And I mean, I don't know how long I sat there, probably 2-3 hours we were talking. And I was eating everything that you owned in the place.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then I started delivering for you, and it kind of brought me back to a friendship I had with my friend David because you delivered to
Right.
him, and then COVID hit, and the delivery game came, and I started delivering for my friend's supermarket, and I was delivering for you. You know, things were getting good for me. I was happy again. I don't need a lot to be happy. It's just the grind of developing something
Mm-hmm.
new, and just trusting in having faith in submitting
Right.
to your
Right.
path. You know what I mean?
Right.
No matter what comes, obviously there's good if you just keep going at it. For me, that's what's always
Right.
worked. And then, I started working at my friend's business for 5 years in a supermarket, and no place I ever thought I'd be in my life. And then he knew I would leave eventually. He wanted to do something with me because, me and him have been along for 20
Right.
years, and I played softball
Right.
with him. He knew we could do something together. He bought an existing business that is Bivio. It was run by a former pizzolo, but he couldn't do it any longer. He got sick. And so my buddy bought the business, and I had never touched food in my life, never made pizza, never, not once in my life. Not ever played with it, not even for fun. He's like, I know you could do this. So he bought the business. We started in May of 2023.
Right.
And for 8 months, we practiced, and the old owner came when he could. It was a struggle because we're dealing with sourdough, and another extreme level of
Yeah.
trying to do
Yeah.
something with a live culture. Live cultures, how much fun they could be. Um,
Hmm. Challenging,
no,
complex and
seriously,
challenging. Yeah. Yeah. But so
100%.
ridiculously rewarding because the product
Oh
you
my
get
God.
is just outstanding. Yeah.
Yeah, it's superior. It's superior. I mean, but like every day it's a challenge. So you definitely don't get bored. And so we started getting into that, and we kind of hit a wall of not really developing what we wanted
Hmm.
to. And we were opening in January of 2024. And we did, but I still wasn't satisfied with what we were
Hmm.
doing. So I looked into courses anywhere locally, and they had a place in Maryland called Pizza University. So I went out there and I learned from Master
I
Pizzolo,
love it.
a 3-day course. And we're not doing traditional Neapolitan. We're trying to do more of a contemporary
Okay.
Neapolitan ish. You know what I mean? Because it's a bigger crust, more air, so it's even harder. But going that 3-day course kind of changed everything. I learned a lot. We've been developing it since, and every day is
You get
you're
better and
trying to
better.
push
And
it.
look, you get better and
Yeah, if
better.
you want
Right.
to, if you don't want to settle. Like I don't like
I
settling
know.
for something. Like I always feel, and when you're dealing with a live culture, pizza, we don't have a controlled room.
Right.
Everything, the temperature matters for everything and time. So that challenge is what is very rewarding for me because it keeps pushing me. Like the way I live is for me always trying to be better. Like I know there's something better every day that you could work
Yeah.
on. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So that's where we're at. I mean, honestly, last night I think was the best pizza I ever made. So every day when I hit that new level,
Yeah.
it's very rewarding.
Yeah.
You know, but the most rewarding part, which is crazy for me, is how instantly gratifying it is when you give somebody a good
Hmm.
product in
Hmm.
food and immediately it changes the vibe.
Yep.
Immediately. Like I never had that in any other job I've ever done. I was a technician, a welder. It's so isolated and you never see the reward of it
Right.
after. It's all personal. There's no one
Yeah.
ever
Behind the
to
scenes.
reflect
Right.
on it. Yeah, there's no one ever to reflect on what you do. This is so different, and I mean, I love it. So it's something that we're gonna keep working on, and I don't know how far we're gonna take it. I mean, I'm working on other things on the side with
Right.
it that I don't really want to
No.
talk
No.
about too
No.
much. I
No.
mean, because it's not
Right.
there yet. When it gets there, it'll get there. That part of it is similar to who I am. Like making pizza is kind of that push is that life push that I have in myself.
Hmm.
So it's fitting for where I'm at. I've submitted to my path. This is where I need
Right.
to be. Some days are worse than others, obviously, with
Right.
everything else. But you know what? It's another lesson, right?
I
So
okay. So I know that the theme for the show is the moment that changed everything. But not only did it change things for you, but it changed things for me. I know that I started the show by saying my brother from another mother. You walk in the shop
definitely.
that day, I think it was a Saturday. You came back on
Hmm.
Sunday and you came back on Monday. And Sunday were generally it was busy retail wise, but wholesale wise, we would be prepping for the orders that would then go out Monday morning and so on and so on. And my head baker at the time turned to me after you left and he asked me, "Do you know him?" Uh, I think so, in another life, probably.
Yeah,
And he looked
seriously.
at me like I was out of my mind, but I was like, "No, for sure," because we totally hit it off. It was one of those things. And I
Definitely.
had been manifesting so much and so just vigorously like, please, 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 I need someone to deliver my product for me and you come walking through those doors. And I remember when you said yes, I literally cried my eyes out because I was like, "Oh my god, I found," it was so as and I'm very happy to hear and thank you. Thank you for all the beautiful things that you've said. As fulfilling as it was for you to step into something different, it was for me as well. So I wanted to make sure that I conveyed that to you. I know you know it.
No, definitely. It was a lot of fun. I
It
mean, we had a
was.
good little run. I mean, it was great. It's just,
Yeah.
COVID kind of messed a lot of things
Yeah.
up. And and like I always said to you, it's just I just don't think people were ready for you.
Yeah.
Like you were too far ahead of the game at that point in that town.
Yeah.
You belonged in California, I
I
think.
probably did. Yeah, or maybe in Brooklyn or in Manhattan or
True.
but that's okay. Look, if it's supposed to come back again and there's supposed to be another life, it will happen. I'm very happy now. This is a different community that I've created and it feels good, right? This whole thing was built out of a place of happiness and everything that's transpired over the past 5 years. We've been connected. I hadn't been happy for for a really long time. So to finally get to the point where something grew out of happiness, this is such a joyful place and community and space for me, and to have people on like you, just it's like the cherry on top of the sundae. I appreciate it.
No, that place of coming from a place of happiness, it you feel that connection, right?
Right.
Like I mean, in what I do, I never thought I'd find happiness in food. I never, not for a second, but everybody's like, "Oh, your job." I'm like, "Yeah, it's not my job."
No,
I was like, "I love what I
it's
do.
that's
It
right.
doesn't feel like a job." I was like, the part that's the job is doing prep work,
Sure.
like cutting up
Yeah.
things and cutting sheets, whatever, cleaning up the containers. But I do my dough mix. I stretch the pizza. I love it. I love every second of it. I look forward to it every day. That's something that I never had in my other jobs. I
Right.
mean, don't get me wrong, I like welding, but going to work, I got to go to work. I don't feel that way
Uh,
ever. Never.
okay, so then let me just say, top 2 favorite foods in the entire world, one of them is pizza for me.
Always for
Your
me. Definitely.
pizza is ridiculous. That's all I'm gonna say.
Thank you.
And
Thank you.
that
Thank you. Thank you.
love and that craftsmanship, and I'm not just saying that because of how I feel about you, right? And our relationship and connection that we have. The pizza is outstanding, and you can see that you have found your place and your craft, and that does show. And I do know that feeling. Having someone enjoy something that you've made that is just such a deep rooted passion, and having them enjoy it is just, I know the feeling. And
Trust me, I know you know
your
the
pizza's
feeling.
off the hook,
We,
dude.
we,
It is.
the matcha donuts, man, those
I
things,
know.
dude.
Thank
They're
you.
like I used to go to the place that deliver when I was in town and just buy
I
stuff
know.
just because. No joke. They'd be like, Does this guy deliver it?" Yeah, you got any more of those donuts?" Like, seriously.
Oh, yeah. Those were fun
Nah,
times.
and then the brownie bar, the peanut butter
Oh,
jelly
thank
bars
you.
are oh man.
Thank you.
See, I miss your stuff. Your stuff was great.
I miss it too.
Nah, those are good
I
times.
miss it too.
Those are good
Thank
times, but
you.
it's part of the path,
Right.
right? I mean,
Right.
I wouldn't have met you if any of that stuff didn't
Right.
happen. I wouldn't have been in this path of where I am
Right.
now. I mean, I have no idea where I'd be right now.
Right.
No clue. But I've never been in a happier
Well,
place. I've never been
I
in a happier
firmly
place.
good, and it really does warm my heart because I know we've had so many heart-to-heart conversations, and we went through a really
Mhm.
hard time together. Obviously 2020 was just it was jarring and unimaginable on a multitude of levels for the both of us, personally speaking and the business. But to hear you say that you're happy, I do believe that you would have eventually gotten there, and I think it would have been a couple of different steps and
Yeah.
path that would have finally led you to being where you are. But I'm so happy that I'm part of your journey story. I mean, if I can
No,
say
it's
if I
great.
can
I
say
mean,
that.
100%. I mean, recognizing the people that have influence on your growth and your direction. I mean, that's something that you have to
Right.
remember. I mean, I don't like to dwell on the past, but I also like to remember the things that helped me get to where I'm
Yeah.
going and where I'm at right now.
Yeah.
So,
y-
I mean, that's
It is
important for
important.
me.
And look, in hard times and challenges and setbacks, I don't like to ever really use the word failure. And I just had a conversation with someone and we use the word failure and I think it comes with a really strong negative connotation, but I should say those hard times push us to step into the place that we're really supposed to be.
Agreed. And honestly, I think a lot of it stems because I've been an athlete my whole
Right.
life, and baseball's been my main
Right.
game. It's always taught me so many good life lessons, like baseball. It's a game of the word
Mhm.
failure. It really is. Like you fail 70% of the time if you're good. And you have to learn not to let that hurt you, but to help you grow and use that as your lesson. Also, the aspect of teamwork, like being selfless, knowing your role in the team is a big part of
Right.
baseball because it's so many people on the field doing so many different things at different
Yep. Yep.
times that not one guy carries the whole
Right.
team. So that aspect of it into who I am is, and that's why I've always never had an issue with happiness, like in the sense that I don't stay down long. I never did. I always try to put my best foot forward because if you don't do that in baseball, you're
You're
done.
done. Right.
You're done.
Right.
You're done. You're done. That's why some guys go on slumps and their careers are over. Some guys, they never go on slumps because they don't let it affect them. They use it as a tool. Failure, I agree with, as a negative connotation unless you know how to handle it.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like even the word, you know what it really means for you. And for me, it means growth and
Right.
learning and development.
Right.
So I use that for myself all the time. And I tell people all the time, sports is one of the best things you could do for your life.
Yeah.
It really is. And race never plays a role when you play sports. You're a team no matter
Right.
what. Like nothing matters. Nothing matters
The
but
team.
growth.
Right. And
And
that,
if you want to
right.
win, if you want to be a winning team and in life you're trying to win,
Yeah.
right? Like you're trying to win your business, you're trying to win on your personal
Yep.
level, like you're trying to get to attain something better. That's how I live. I don't know about everybody else, but I'm always trying to push it to the next level to be better than yesterday. Sometimes it's hard because there's so many things that you want to think about sometimes that have hurt
Yep.
you because we all have trauma, we all have pain in our life,
Right.
right? But to forgive yourself is the number one thing for me in any instance because ultimately what I've learned is that it's all about my
Mhm.
decisions, the decisions that I make for myself on where I'm going. Yeah, maybe I had a rough life growing up, or maybe I had a bad circumstance, and a lot of things I create for myself. I've made a lot of mistakes, but do I keep making those mistakes or do I learn
Right.
from them?
Well,
You know,
that's
like,
the key.
you know, yeah, I never wanted to push my problems on somebody
Right.
else. You know, I wanted to try to fix it and see if I can become better from it. And like I said, sports taught me all that. And it's crazy how at this point in my life, I can reflect on that and use that every day, no matter what little bad moment I have. And it's like, come on, man, it's just another time. Submit to the path is just something to push you to a higher
Right.
level. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
no,
Like
totally know what you mean. What did you feel was the hardest part about letting go of that other version of James and stepping into where you are now?
letting go of the things that I did that brought shame to myself.
Okay.
I've always been a person of certain principles, but when you cross the line of your principles, for me, I always sit there and I dwell on it too much, like what I could have done different, but it's already done.
Right.
What can I do in the future to not have that happen again and not make that same bad decision? So decisions mold me
Mhm.
in who I am. I can choose to dwell on it. I can choose to move on. I can forgive myself. I can't forgive. When you forgive yourself, everybody else will forgive you
Yeah.
in time. Time forgives all at some level, you know?
It's allowing yourself grace,
Yeah,
you know? I
totally.
it's and
Totally.
countless amount of times I did not allow myself grace. And it hurts you.
Kills you. It kills you in every
Yeah.
way.
So you've had such a diverse life leading up to where you are now. Discipline
Lives. At this point, it feels like lives.
the discipline of the military, the discipline and craftsmanship of working with your father, welding and all of that. So how is that discipline and obviously the team effort, work,
Yeah, yeah.
softball, how has that discipline shaped where you are right now? How do you apply that to your pizzaiola,
Well,
position?
I mean, it started when I was a kid. So my father had us in a steel shop at like 10 years old.
Wow.
We would work in summers and whenever there's vacations, and we loved it. Like, I mean, there was no heat, nothing. I mean, we were freezing as little
Dang.
kids. We used to stand by a fire once in a
Right.
while, but it teaches you that you can overcome nonsense things that aren't really meaningful. Like you can dwell on stupid shit, but you don't have to. It taught us a lot of discipline in the fact that, hey, you got to work for your money.
Mhm.
No one's gonna hand you nothing. And that's what my dad instilled in us. We didn't like it at the time, but reflecting as an adult, it gave me a good foundation for my work ethic.
Mhm.
My dad was great at what he did. Phenomenal. So to be behind someone like that and learn from them and dedicate yourself to a craft, it taught me a lot. And there was artistry to that too. So you had a little bit of everything. Structurally, like measurements, I learned math. I mean, things you don't learn in
Mhm.
school.
Right.
Things you don't learn in
Right.
school. School is so theory based,
Right.
and when you get your hands dirty and you really do hard work, and that was another thing, doing hard work, like real demanding hard work, you could do
Mhm.
anything. Like really, I mean, it puts that seed in your head. But with the family business, there's always things that come up that are issues. Like your family's there. It's a safety net, and you don't really know what the outside world's really like, and you can get caught up. So joining the military was my next step. And that was a great thing for me because it gave me some structure and
Mhm.
organization. Because the way I see the military is how almost every big corporation operates is under that military structure. I mean, there's checklists for everything. There's somebody checking your work. There's somebody checking their work. Everything's designed very
Mhm.
well. There's a great training program. They want to make sure you know what you're doing before you get out there and have to do
Right.
it. Because if you have to do it in a combat situation, they don't need you folding. Like you have to come
Right. Right.
through. So that was huge for me because it made me realize how unorganized my family business was at
Okay.
times. So I hate to say that, but that's the truth. But it gave me that next level in what if I had the foundation for the hard work and the dedication, the next was being organized and really taking it to an organized level and knowing your path and trying to create a path and you know setting a goal and actually how to attain it properly and efficiently. Efficiency, I would say, is a big thing with the
Mhm.
military that taught me becoming efficient, not just wasting time running in circles, because that happens. I see it all the time, like in smaller businesses that they're not really organized. You see people doing things and you look around like they're wasting a lot of time doing
Right.
that. They're not really saving money
Right.
there. On a personal level, how that all helps me is where I'm at now.
Yeah.
Because if I'm not organized, if I don't have my stuff together, and
Yep.
baking, it's not like cooking. Cooking, you could throw a little salt, you can add here, add a
No,
baking
it's
ain't like that.
precise. Yeah. Yeah.
You have to have your measurements
Mhm.
on point. Your temperatures have to be right. One little thing changes everything.
Yeah.
So if you're off and you don't know how to troubleshoot it, you could be spinning your in circles for months, years, whatever. You may never get the product you
Right.
want. So all those things really have brought me up to be ready for what I'm doing
Yeah.
now and to be good at it. And I'd like to say I'm good at it at this point, but I'll say 2 years from now I didn't know shit then. So it's just the development, right? I mean,
Well, look, I know you, all right? I know your character, and I know that you don't ever back down from a challenge. And knowing the discipline of the military and knowing your craftsmanship of what you've done welding, how could you not be good at making pizza? And I know that maybe people listening or viewing are going to be like, what is she talking about? But knowing how your brain processes, even when you were working
mhm,
and you were doing the delivery, we had a schedule, and you went
mhm,
to to these coffee shops and dropped off the stuff between these hours or these days or whatever.
100%.
So I am not surprised that you're doing what you're doing. I'm really not.
Nah, I mean, I'm just surprised that this is what I'm doing. Something similar
Yeah,
to it, I could see like being a technician again, but
okay.
like I don't think I'd have the fulfillment that I have now. It's on another level. And a lot of time I'm by myself, which I like to work by
Yeah,
myself. I do. I like that alone time. It's almost like meditation. I do my dough mix, I turn on the
Yeah.
music, I have a good time with it, I mean, I really enjoy it. It's something I can't describe to someone if they've never done it. Like, you don't seeing that mixer turn the dough is, and if you've ever done it, you know what I'm talking
Yeah.
about, but if you haven't, maybe you should try it one day.
I absolutely 100% know that feeling. You know, when you've got that quiet time to be honed in on your craft and really be in touch with what you're doing because it's such a hands-on thing. Like you are making something that someone is going to eat. There's going to be enough of
Yeah.
time that the restaurant's going to be packed and filled and you're going to have staff behind you and you're going to have, David throwing the pizzas in the oven. There's going to be enough of that chaos going on that if you could spend that quiet time to just have it be you and the thing that you're making for somebody else is, it's good. It's a good feeling,
Nah, no doubt. It's funny. I have customers because you've been to the place, so the bar is right
right?
there where I stretch the
That's where I
pizza,
like to sit,
and
by the
people
way.
watch me. And if you're in there, like most of the time, when once you sit there, you don't want to sit
Right.
anywhere else. Um, by people all the time because I don't talk to anybody almost because I'm locked in.
Yeah,
And
you have
plus
to be.
I'm not a big talker unless I know
Right.
you. You just hear people trying to talk to me like, wow, that looks like calm and you're locked in, man. It
Yeah.
looks so zen. It kind of is though. It really is. I've always worked with my hands, so it's kind of fitting that I'm doing something that's only with my hands at this
Right.
point. So yeah, I mean, my handprint is literally on what I'm
Eh,
giving you.
eh, that couldn't be more of a true statement if you tried. How would you define being a craftsman?
So being a craftsman for me is literally starting at the bottom of what you're doing and learning everything. Like, not skipping steps, not just trying to get to the end of it, knowing what you're doing before you take that next step. If you don't know that first level of that foundation and you take that next step and then you try to jump, it's gonna fall down. You'll have no foundation. Just like anything else without a foundation, it doesn't really last. Maybe you'll hit it once in a while, but I want to hit it every
Mhm.
day. I want to be consistent. I want to be able to develop new things. So for me as a craftsman, it's knowing the full scope of what I'm doing and being able to manipulate in ways to make the product what I want it to
Mhm.
be. Not just falling into a box and saying I make Neapolitan pizza because I do XYZ every day.
Right.
You can do that, and that's a great
Right.
thing. But what we're trying to do isn't exactly Neapolitan pizza anymore. We're trying to make it crunchier. We're trying to make the crust bigger. We're going to start developing other flavors also, and that's not my part. My partner David does that, and he's great at it. That's his game, his life game, and we kind of mesh well with that, which is great. I do all the technical stuff. He does all like the flavor profiling, and he does all the talking to people because he's great at
Right.
that. We work so well
Yeah.
together. Like it really is perfect.
It's like left brain, right brain, and you share that brain together, right? So you're like the t yeah,
100%.
yeah, I've seen it.
We come together at the end of the day. He bakes the
Right.
pizza, I stretch it. I mean, it really works out well. And we have a great thing. We have a great thing. Our customers are fantastic. Thursdays, Fridays, Saturdays was the only days we're open. You
Yep.
know that at night. And we're pretty much packed every day. I mean, we got people waiting, even with reservations, which isn't the best thing, but sometimes you can't do anything about it because people want to stay.
Yeah.
People don't want to leave when they're
No,
there.
I know. That's the hard part. So that can be challenging, but it's also a really super fabulous feeling that you've got people who don't wanna
Yeah.
leave, but then you're like, there's a table of 2 behind you that needs to sit down. Can we sh"
I feel for our
Right,
servers. I feel for them because I can
right,
see the pressure that gets put on
right.
them having a calm customer service. I don't really have a place for people to sit that are waiting because you know how small the place is. It's
Yeah,
tiny,
yeah,
and I mean it gets loud in there. And the vibe is really cool when it's
yeah.
packed and customers talk to each other like out of nowhere, especially at the bar, which is cool. You see a lot of people meeting each other at the bar. Yeah, I mean it's a great place to be when we're bumping for sure.
It is, and you can feel the energy, and of course, you could smell the pizzas.
Yeah, yeah, awesome,
Ooh,
no
love it,
doubt.
love it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So, for you, when did you know that you were stepping into that new version of you?
I fully submitted to it maybe July of 2023
Okay.
because it wasn't easy. It was hard, um, and even though we didn't have the product going well at all, the challenge part of it is what really excited me
Yeah.
because I knew I could figure it
Right.
out. Like I knew I could figure it out. Um, but it was such a challenge that I almost felt like, as a friend to my partner in this, that I owed it to
Hmm.
him to figure it out because he trusted in me and he gave me an opportunity to do something different in my life that I probably wasn't going to get somewhere else. So I'm not satisfied
Right.
with being
Right.
mediocre. I can't. I mean, I'm not great every day. Don't get me wrong, but don't think I'm sitting there pushing my chest out, being happy about it. I'm
Right.
not. Even when people say my pizza's great, I'm sitting there going, I didn't like that. I didn't like that. I didn't like that. And once you start making pizza, just like when you make baked products and stuff, everybody will love it, but you probably don't like it some
Right.
days.
That's right.
You know what
Amen.
I mean? But they still love
Right.
it. We see the things that they don't
Right.
see. But that's a good thing because if you're not looking for it, how are you going to grow? How are you going to get better? How are you going to become something more? How is that product going to how are you going to take it to the next
Right.
level? There's so many pizza places. They're
Yeah.
everywhere.
True.
So if you don't keep pushing it, I mean, people are going to go somewhere else. Um and I don't want that. I want you every time you come in, I want you to be like, "Yo, this pizza's better than last time." And I get that all the time. And it's because my partner David has given me the freedom to do that. Develop however you want. We talk about it first, obviously, but when I have ideas, I throw them at him. I say, "Hey, man, do you mind if I try going higher water? It'll give us a slower bake. We'll get a crunchier
Right.
crust." We talk about all that stuff. So, the ability to have freedom in what I'm doing is another great thing about what I'm doing. I'm not restricted in any way, which is great for me. So, it's new for me. That's definitely something that's new for
Right.
me, and having to deal with that at first, not being like worried about letting someone down. Like, oh, I don't want to try something because what if it doesn't work? I have the freedom to take that leap, and that's also a blessing that I have working with the person I work with. So it's helped us because the product from now, since we started in January 2024, it's totally different, and it's 100% better.
That's a testament to your dedication because you are constantly pushing yourself and you want to continue to keep it being cutting edge and different and new and better and better and better. So I can't wait to come back. I mean, that's for sure.
I mean, you haven't been there in a little bit. You'll like it more
Oh
now,
my
for
God,
sure.
seriously, I can't wait. Oh my
So
God, I can't wait. So if you had to write a letter to little young James, what would you say to him?
first of all, don't listen to anybody else unless they're really there to help you.
Yeah.
I got taken down the wrong path a few times by bad influences because you submit to peer pressure when you're young,
Sure.
obviously. But I would definitely tell him, stay with what you believe. Because I mean, I feel I've always had good intentions for everyone. I I, I want to see everybody happy. I always want to see people smiling. Not that I have to be the reason, but
Right.
I don't want to be a reason to make you not
Right.
smile. Um, so falling in line with what other people want for me when it's not good, those are bad decisions I made as a young
Mhm.
person. So to stay true to myself, that would be the ultimate message I would give myself. Because I mean, as I got older and where I'm at now, I mean, that's where I'm trying to get back to
Right.
still. Stay true to who you are. Like find who you are, get back to that person because I mean, isn't that the goal of our lives? Like to be yourself, not worry about what anybody says about you. As long as your intentions are good, some people are scared of what they don't
Sure.
know. They're scared of the unknown. Maybe, oh, he's weird or fine, I'll be weird. I don't care. I'm not hurting nobody. I'm just
Right.
different and I'm okay with being
Right.
different. You know what I
Well, it's
mean?
authentic.
Um, yeah, I mean, authenticity is the ultimate goal for
Beautiful
me,
things come out
you
of
know?
authenticity. Absolutely.
Yeah. But I feel like I got lost along the way of where my true authenticity
Yeah.
was. So because all the noise around, you get caught up in the noise. And as a young person, it's
Yeah.
normal. That's pretty normal. You get caught up in the noise because you don't want to be an outcast. You don't want to be alone. Like I don't think people are meant to be alone. We're meant to be together. We're meant to share ideas. We're meant to share ourselves without judgment or negative judgment. And to get back to that and finding those groups of people where you can have great conversations like this. So like we're talking about real things about ourselves and really being able to express that and show who we're trying to be at the end of the day. I think that that brings true
Yeah.
happiness, you know, like because no matter what happens during those times and the struggles that you have, when your intentions are good and you find yourself, you know your path is clear at
Right.
that point. You know, it's easier to submit to that path when you've had that peace and realize this is just who I am. There's nothing wrong with being who I
Right.
am. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like, yeah, I
Woohoo!
mean that's nah,
I know it
it's a
is.
tough road
I
to walk
know it
on.
is. I
It's a
know.
tough road
Look,
to walk on.
we can look back in hindsight, as they say, hindsight is 2020. We can always look back and say, I wish I coulda, shoulda, woulda. But
Yeah,
if we continue to look back on the shoulda, woulda, coulda, or feel anxious about, well, what's my next step? What if I can't do this? What if I can't do that? We miss out on being alive in the present tense.
right now. It's all that
Right.
matters. I mean, it's all that really matters. I mean, I had a thought process and I feel like I've heard it since years ago. And I'm like, when you dwell on your past, it kind of puts you in a depressive state. It's almost like depression is dwelling on your
Mhm.
past. And when you start to think too much about the future, it makes you
Yep.
anxious. It's almost like anxiety is looking too far forward. So trying to get in the now is where it's the only time that really exists because even the past we manipulate.
Sure.
You know what I mean? So being now is the most important thing. And trying to stay in the now is the hardest
Yeah.
thing
Well,
because like I said, all the noise around
right.
you and even in my own head, the things that are going on in my own head all the time, I got to shut down. You got to shut it down all the
Yeah.
time. End up talking to myself half the time,
Well,
which
look,
is
the internal speak, what we say to ourselves is so critical and so important. And then that translates to what we say out loud. And you know, and I
uh-huh.
know, and we've had this conversation a gazillion times. What you put out into the universe is what you get back. So if you're telling yourself good stuff, and you're putting out the good stuff, well, then guess what? Somebody like James will walk through your door of your bakery and say, I will solve all of your delivery problems. And that's what you did.
No, I agree. I agree 100%. The vibe that you put out there, it means a lot. It's kind of the things that you attract. It's what do you want for yourself? Like I said, making decisions internally direct you where you want to go. You want to make a decision that's easy but doesn't suit you. You're probably not going to bring your vibration up to a higher level and you're going to attract things that don't suit
Right,
you,
right,
right? But if you make a hard decision that may take a little bit more work, but that's a good decision for you, guess what? It's probably going to attract more
right.
good things. Nothing ever bad ever came out of hard
No,
work. Nothing. Not for
yeah,
me. Working my ass off in tough situations, taking on challenges has always been rewarding in the end. Always. I can never say that it hasn't. You know
yeah,
what I mean? I always try to remind myself of those things. You know, this is a tough time. Guess what? You're ready for it. That's why it's here, right? I
right,
mean, so take it on and figure it out and smile while you're doing it. Everybody says enjoy the process, but enjoy the
right,
process. You kind of have to,
right,
right? I
right.
mean,
Well, before you know it, the journey will be over and you will have achieved what it is that you want to achieve. And then it's on to the next journey to bring you to that next
yeah.
level. And I am so happy and cannot wait to know what the next iteration of James and pizza and Bivio and everything else that I know that you've got plans, which I'm not asking you to talk about because I know there's stuff that you're working on, but I can't wait to see it.
Mhm. Yeah, I think I hinted to you
You
already,
did,
but
which I'm
you
very
know,
excited
it's
about,
it's
but
in
I
the
won't say
works.
anything.
It's in the works. It's that's even more challenging. That's even more challenging. So because I don't have as much time to dedicate to it right now, but
Yeah, but it'll come around.
the whole that yeah, the all the other dynamics involved in it is going to be another
Yeah,
challenge for me. So um I
I
want
can't
it though.
wait.
I want it.
I
So
can't I
nah,
I
it's
can't
cool.
wait. I can't wait. So
Nah, it should be fun. It should be
yeah.
fun.
Oh, no, it's gonna
That's for
be
sure.
and well, it's gonna be mega delicious, that I can tell you, and I can't wait for that. James, before we go, I ask every guest the same question because I believe the stories we leave behind say so much about how we show up in the world. So I want you to tell me one story, big or small, that you hope people remember you for.
Oof, big or small. Remember me for. I would just say about personal growth. You may go through a tough time. We all do. Forgive yourself for anything that you've done. We all make mistakes, but learn from those mistakes. They help you develop. They lead you back to the path that you were always meant to be
Yeah.
on. Money isn't everything. You'll get it if it's meant for you, but be true to yourself in that process, and you'll be happy, because happiness at the end of the day is what we're all striving for, in my opinion. I know that's what I'm looking
Yeah.
for. So for me, that's what it's all
That's
about.
awesome. And that's such a beautiful way to end our conversation today. And I want to thank you for sharing everything that you have today and for being part of this story. And I want to thank everyone for tuning into this episode of Dawn of a Story. If something you heard today moved you, made you laugh, or made you think, please share it with someone you love. Please like and subscribe to the show. And if you're feeling brave, I'd love to hear your story too by commenting below. It helps other story lovers find us. If you'd like to get in touch with James, see James in action, please stop by Bivio. Bivio Pizza is at 107 Pine Street in Montclair. You can also follow them on Instagram at Bivio Pizza. You can also go to biviopizza.com and make a reservation. I would strongly suggest that you get a seat at the bar so you can watch the master in action. Until next time, keep listening, keep sharing, and keep telling your story. Thank you, James. I'm so happy you were here.
Thanks,
Thank you.
Dawn. I
Thank
appreciate
you.
it.